Wondering how to use the Horigen D6 hands-free electric breast pump? Then stick around, as in this video I'm going to go through all the different components that make up the Horigen D6, as well as its settings and how to use it effectively. So let's get started and take a look at all the different components. Now, this is the pump motor. This is what creates and drives your suction. It has an LED screen and the buttons, touch buttons to operate your pump. It is connected to your collection containers via tubing. Now, this tubing can be used for a single pumping or as double pumping. There is a little connector point here that you can simply use the cap to block or unblock it and put that into your second collection container. It simply slides in. So for now, let's look at your collection container. So this comprises of a few parts. You have your collection cup. Now this is 6 ounces. This is where your breast milk collects. You have your hard silicone flange with the linker attached. You have your diaphragm and your valve. You then have a super soft silicone flange cushion, which is a 25mm diameter. And if you need, you also have various flange insert sizes. Okay, so let's put this back together. First, we're going to want to take the hard plastic flange with the linker, and we're going to want to connect our valve. Now you can see at the base here that there is a little hole. This lines up with the little flap on the valve. You need to loop this over the connection points, making sure that you have a nice flat surface. You do not want this sitting half up. It needs to be on nice and secure and covering this bottom flap here. Now, the membrane then sits on top. Again, you're going to need to push down and make sure you have a really nice, firm, secure fit. Really important not to miss this step. These two valves and diaphragms, these are what helps to control your suction. If these are loose or broken or not put on properly, you will potentially get leaks with your pump as well as loss of suction. So making sure these are on nice and secure is paramount. Next, we're going to want to attach our completed linker and flange to our collection container. Now you can see up the top here that there is a pouring spout. You are going to want to loop this over, and then this simply clips into place. Again, I really like to push down firmly, making sure you have a really secure fit. Then you're going to want to take your flange cushion and insert that into the hard silicone flange, nice and flat. If you require a smaller diameter flange, then take your insert and that simply slots in on top. And that purpose of this insert is to reduce the flange tunnel from a 25mm down to the appropriate size, whether it's a 21, a 17, a 15, that will reduce this tunnel size for your nipple. Once we have both our completed, if you are double pumping, you want to make sure that your your tubing is connected. So you will have your Y, and that branches off into your 2 connector points. That simply goes over the top and pushes in. Again, you're going to want to make sure that these are firmly pushed into place. It can be a little bit tricky to line them up, but again, nice and firm in place. Once you have those, you're going to want to take the single connector point and plug that in to the base of your pump motor. Now that is ready to start pumping. When you are ready to start pumping, you are going to want to take your collection cups and pop these into your bra. You need to line up with your nipple with the flange tunnel. You want to make sure that this is a good fit, that your nipple can move freely within the tunnel. You don't want it to be too small or too large, as this will cause potentially damage and discomfort. Once this is securely fit in, you can pop it in your pumping bra to hold it into place, and then you're ready to start pumping. Now this is designed to be upright for your pumping. There is room for movement. However, if you try to go upside down or lay flat, you might get spillage out the pouring spout. It is designed to be upright. All right, so our collection cups are in place and we are ready to start our pumping session. Now this is a touch screen, so you simply hold down the power button for a few seconds and your pump will turn on. It will automatically go to your last vacuum setting and onto the stimulation mode. So we are going to want to bring that down to the 1 vacuum. On the stimulation mode, these are the short suctions. Now these are for initiating your letdown. You run on this mode for approximately 1 to 2 minutes until your letdown has initiated. You can adjust the suction strength by pressing the minus or the plus. As I say, it will recall your last suction setting, so keep that in mind. If you've got it on a 9, that might be a little bit of like a woo, so you might want to just get in the habit of bringing that down, or if it works for you, leave it as it is. Then this is the mode button to change between them. So you can change after your letdown has come in. You have 2 options. You can go on the expression mode, which are your long suctions, and this is for drawing out your breast milk. Or if your body responds better, you can swap to the mix mode, which is both of these symbols on at once. Now this is 3 shorter suctions followed by a longer suction. So it really depends on what your body best responds to which mode you will choose. I suggest having a play around and seeing what gives you the best comfort and the best output. Again, you can go up to 9 different suction levels for this. I recommend starting at a lower and then working your way up. You want to find a suction strength that gives you a good pull with it being comfortable. You can see on here that you have a timer and there is also your battery life. Now you can pause this by simply, let me turn that back on. You press the the power button to turn it on. You can pause by simple touch and restart it by touching it. If you hold on, it will turn off your pump. Now you can see here that there is a lock icon. If you hold the minus and the plus, it will lock your pump into place. This is a child lock feature. It means that you can no longer up and down, which is great. However, you can still turn this on and off with the power button. To turn this off, you simply press both the minus and plus button at the same time again. All right, so once we have finished our pumping session, you want to turn your pump off. You can then remove your tubing Your tubing and your pump motor do not come in contact with breast milk. This is a closed system, so these can be put to the side. These do not need cleaning or sterilizing. That said, if you notice any condensation or liquid in your tubing, then you will need to look to replace it. Okay, so once we have done our pumping session, imagine these are still in your bra. I recommend that you slightly put your finger in to loosen the suction, lean forward slightly, and then remove your pump. You don't want to just pull your pump or the collection cup straight off. That will pull your nipple with it. So you need to break the suction and then remove them. Once that is done, you can then use the pouring spout to pour this into your storage container or bottle. Then we are going to disassemble all the parts that have come in contact with the breast milk. We're going to wash these or clean these in warm soapy water, or they are also top rack dishwasher safe. Once they are cleaned, they will need to be sterilized at least once a day. You can do this by boiling them in hot water for 5 minutes or so, or these are also UV sterilizer safe. It's not recommended for a steam type sterilizer. However, the UV is adequate. Once they have been cleaned and sterilized, then you can pop them ready for your next use. If you have any questions about using your Horigen D6 pump, please ask and I will go through and do my very best to answer them. Thanks.